Hey, what's going on, guys? It's got Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yo. Come everywhere like broken glass. I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today, I want to talk about the devil as a sucker. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, you got to realize when you're one of God's elect, chosen kingdom, chosen particular people, royal priesthood, etc., so forth, you know the term, right? Especially if you're reading a good book. You need to understand that the enemy is always consistently working, and it's always trying to throw you off your path at every given time. And what I mean by getting a sucker is really just like a loser that's in constant action. They just can't accept the defeat. You know what I mean? They're in loser land. They want to stay. It's just what it is. But anyway, what I'm here to tell you is that the battle's already been won. So you just operate from your winning point, not from a point of actually getting to your win. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. I got the handy dandy notebook in the spot. Please do not make it hot. Who writes a script? Clear your voice to the don't hate me because you ain't me. You maybe need to levitate and meditate. Never deviate or devastate. Appreciate, yes. Hate, no. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. The enemy is like a pest that gets mad at your happiness because theirs isn't as equal as yours. And what I mean by that is you got to realize that you'll be surprised that when you have a genuine smile or a genuine happy persona, surprisingly, that may rub individuals the wrong way. Why? Because your light on the inner has already been turned on. Now, this is when you get to a point where you've been doing a lot of the inner work. Your light turned on inside. You've seen things for what they truly are on the inside. And then now you're like, wow, I made my decision. I pick up my dustpan and broom, and you start straightening yourself out. You start adding in more traits that becomes more beneficial for your present. You start discarding traits that no longer serve you, and then you start refining traits that you didn't even know that would actually be a benefit, but they're becoming a benefit because the light is on. You can be like, oh wow, look at this, I can use this. So now you start, rubbing in, putting in things in, and then now everything is in a better fashion. But that's when you've been doing the work. But now when you've been doing the work, now here's the traits and symptoms, you can say, that comes with constant development and a point of time when you've been doing this for a little bit while now. You start to shine, and not only do you shine, you start to have a glow. You have this inner feeling that you're always in constant development, but it starts to show on the outer. So now your face may be glowing. It just you just be in the area and they just be like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about this guy. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know how, but there's something about it. Like, it's just something, like, I don't know, he's cool, he's good, he feels good to be around, etc. so forth. They wouldn't be able to explain it. Why? Because that energy, you're giving off, your signal, your resonance, it's complementing and actually restructuring a lot of individuals that's in your immediate environment. Now also realize this, now these are individuals who actually have a certain sense of themselves and they're comfortable with it. Now for those that does not have a certain sense of themselves and they're not actually comfortable with it, when you're around a light individual or an individual that's automatically turning their light on, because everyone has that point that light will be turned on. Now you got to realize there are individuals out there that have made an extreme amount of difference, that now when their light turns on, they see so much dirt and crud and mold and pest and just so much that they have accumulated, and that they didn't decide to keep their light on when they had the opportunity. They see themselves for who they are, and then they rub them, and they'll feel irritable about what they're seeing. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Now realize when you're around other individuals and their light turn on, they see the crud, now they start to project their own inner hate onto you, etc. and so forth. They be like, you know what? Who do you think you are? Like, what? You think you better than me? You think your shit don't stink or something like that? Mind you, you're not even talking about any of that. You're not even in that form of contact, not even that form of conversation, not even on how your overall posture is giving that off. But being at the fact that your light has this strong, or your persona or your resonance has this strong aura, and it has this strong presence, it's automatically turning everybody's light on that you may encounter. So now when others that have a strong sense of themselves and they have an understanding and it's positive and they're not self-hating, it'll be complimenting, and they'll be like, wow, this feels good, wow, this is nice. And then you actually may have a different fresh perspective. But others that aren't so self-certain, etc., so forth, or maybe they're going through inner battles, your resonance may actually come across as them competing. It won't be more of a completion and be more of a competition, at least into their perspective. And then now they'll combat it instead of actually cooperating with it. And unfortunately, this is a battle that they have to face in themselves, because again, even the Bible states a double-minded man, and that's James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So meaning that if they're going back and forth and they haven't fully accepted for who they are to make the difference or make the change, they're not giving space for God to work within them, and they're definitely not giving space that God will work on out. They're taking all the burden all upon themselves, and then they're going to continue to do so. But then it just doesn't become positive from that point. It is what it is. But anyway, I digress. So, I'm long-winded, but that's exactly what happened, with the reason why others may not just like your happiness or even be jealous of the happiness that you carry. But it is what it is, right? Believe it or not, the enemy can have more than you and be mad that you're smiling with less. Again, that's when your energy is not complementing theirs. It can come across as competing with theirs, and that would be the issue right there. Because they'll have it all. They can have the cars, the glitz, the girls, the glam, the clothes, whatever the case may be. And you may not even have that much, but it's something about how you're carrying yourself. Your energy seems regal. Your persona seems royal. And theirs, they have all of the material gain or the material evidence of being such traits, such regalness, such royalness. They may have the material, but they don't have that persona. They don't have that state of mind. They don't have that within. Why? Because it's got to be in you, not on you. But being that you've been doing the inner work and developing your inside, is automatically showing on the outside. They haven't did the inner work on the inside. So what they're doing now is putting everything from that you would get from doing the inner work on the inside, but they're putting on them and it's on the outside. And now they haven't did the inner work on the inside. But guess what happens? Those are going to wither away. And then now it won't be able, you can't compete where you don't compare. It's going to be a difference. You know what I mean? You can't put on that royalty. Even when the Bible talks about putting on the armor of Christ, what he's saying is putting on the mind. It's putting it on in the inside, not on the outside. Everything is about inner work. Everything is about inner work. Even the traits that he said to put on a breastplate of faith, etc., so forth. These are inner works that you're putting on your inner self. So it'll be able to reflect on the outer. I digress. Happiness, friends, hygiene. These are a few things only you can give yourself. Understand that. And I literally need you to truly, really understand that. Because God has provided everything for you to be able to gain these traits, especially being hygienic. Being hygienic is like that you shouldn't even speak about, but that's something to be talked about, because you'll be surprised on how far that takes you. I spoke about that in my previous video. A friend, such a beautiful addition to have in life, but at the same time, that is a gift that you give yourself. And happiness, of course, that is something that you create for yourself. Simple as that. That's why you even meet individuals when they're praying, and they may not even be happy prayers. They may not even be like, they feel like they're still in that mind state of work instead of being faith. They're working towards it, you know what I mean? Like, yo, man, I pray all the time, man. I don't understand what's going on. Yo, I just don't get it, man. Yo, God don't mess with me like that, etc., so forth. You got to realize that when you're praying and when you're operating in that state of mind, first and foremost, you got to put yourself in a position that he's giving you free will to be able to do that. So when God is fellowshipping with you, because God never stops fellowshipping with you, you will stop fellowshipping with him. The minute you start questioning that, it's pretty much like you're not being patient. This is right, the gifts of the Spirit, support, love, peace, joy, steadfast, long-suffering, patience. These are traits that you have to carry in, or you have to develop within yourself, because you already have them. They just haven't been used. So once you start developing these things, then you start to put yourself in a position of understanding, like, all right, I need to alter my perspective, etc., so forth, and about being patient. A lot of things happen so fast, which is a great thing. That means we're progressing, but also realize instant gratification can be detrimental. because the journey is the jewel in itself. You're going to get the jewels. It's already destined for you at the end. But if you don't understand or comprehend how to maintain or get to it, then you won't be able to understand it when you finally receive it. It won't be able to line up to who you are, how you are, and why you are. That's all. So it's about putting yourself in proper position while you're in your current position and understanding what your position is, and understanding being patient and understanding more is coming. Great is coming. You have no choice. That's just what it is. Progression. And that's what God is all about. Definitely. Especially when it's been done. It's all about progression. It's all about progression. All right? All right. You'd be surprised how much attention the devil seeks. Exactly what I mean by that. Because and this is why whatever you're paying attention to, you're also giving life to. So also test the spirit of truth. So you can always test the spirit knowing whether it's the spirit of truth or spirit of error. So when you're in that position, when you're in that state of mind, then you start to understand, like, all right, I understand that. I understand what I'm dealing with here. But then also realize that all things don't require attention, because at the same time, you can't give life to something that's dead. Something that's operating, that's already been in position, that's been doing things. You can't give life to a dead corpse. It's just what it is. So whatever you're paying attention to, you're giving energy to. But even though you're giving energy to it, being that it's a dead situation, it won't be able to bring life out of it at the end of it. There's no lively solutions. Dead begots dead. Simple as that. So in order to progress, do things properly, you can't give the devil attention. Exactly. This is the reason why it says resist the devil and the devil will flee from you. It didn't say the devil will stop. It didn't say the devil will take a break. It didn't say the devil will make amends. It said the devil will flee from you. That means through your patience, through your steadfastness, through your long suffering, through your joy, your patience, your peace within the situation. And then you start to have understanding of the situation and also moving towards it. Moving within it. The enemy will flee through from it. He has to run away from it, because now you're giving God space to operate. That's what that's all about. You want to give God space to operate. Because God can't, because remember this, man, you got to realize there's individuals out there who got unemployed guardian angels. And that's only because you're not saying the right things on the line of yourself in a proper state. That's all. You want to give your guardian angel space to be able to move and operate. But if you're doing that, and if you're giving God space to operate and move, then you'll start to understand the scripture. You're giving space for the scripture. But if you're not doing that, then you got unemployed, you got your guardian angels watching, like, yo, if he just says the right things and just, you could do it. Just come on, just say the right things. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. Let's do this, man. Let's get to it. Etc. So forth. And you're not saying the right things. It's just like, oh, man, whatever. It is what it is. But when you start saying the right things, the guardian angel is already on time. It's already in proper position and ready to make moves and ready to do things that's for your benefit. But again, you're providing the space to be able to do so. So when you're in that position, you're doing that, it has no choice but to line up. You did what I'm saying? Yeah, I think you can. Let's see what's going on. And yeah, again, that's it right there. Again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the proficient, the efficient, the self-efficient, the one that's always doing it and never losing it, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, speak good, do good, see good, because when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, because you know that I'm sexy. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you guys in the next vid.